What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republics off the air. It is Tuesday, June the 4th, fresh off of NXT, a go home show before Battleground over in Las Vegas. I'm fired up to get into it. We got the usual suspects in the building. I'm Clark Taylor. It's a Tuesday night, so you got to get the twos up. Send it out to the DMV. 3 shows today, Shoddy? What's good?
3 show killer, bro. It's your boy Shad Talks Grabs on Instagram, OCDMV703 on X. X gonna give it to you. If you don't follow me, that means you don't rock with me. And you don't rock with me, that makes me sad.
If you don't rock with Shot, I don't know what you're doing. He's too easy to rock with. Great guy. I can
Crying
attest.
crying a little bit right now. My
Yeah,
bad.
makes
Not
me
cry.
sad. Makes me sad. But I do also have to send it out to Louisville, Kentucky to that guy. You should. What is it again, Driz?
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. It is Dryzzy. It's Tuesday. We putting them twos up, and we are on the road to Battleground. Probably the NXT show of the year because they have built this up so hugely. They got Sexy Red hosting and everything. They got UFC fighting. Anything you want and need, they got it. They even pop it ass.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Driz.
Oh,
I'm with you, man.
we can't sing sexy
I'm
right
fired up.
here, right? What's
Hey,
wrong with it?
it's Vegas, and we all know what happens in Vegas stays
So
in
shout
Vegas.
out, shout out
Sexy
to my
red about to
girl
go
Cindo.
crazy.
Shout out to my girl Cindo. She is an NXT reviewer for another show, and she said that Battleground is turning into NXT Pound Town.
Pound time. That's wild. One Guan Delilah.
That one is definitely Vegas appropriate without question. I'm with you on that one, Driz.
Viva sexy
Okay,
red. All right, let's go. My bad.
Shotty, yes, let's get into the show. Shotty, let's talk Jordan Grace, right?
Yes.
And it's Tuesdays. What is this going to be the Tuesday segment for a particular superstar, or are we going to really highlight Jordan Grace here? I'm going to toss it straight to you.
My goodness, man. That woman, Jordan Grace, I know how great she is as a wrestler because I've seen matches for her before. But if you needed a bit of a taste to see what she is able to do, pure, utter strength, that is an understatement. You saw it tonight. I thought her and Stevie Turner had a very good match, a nice little warm up for Jordan Grace going in to Battleground, showcasing all that she can do. Roxanne Perez right there in attendance, seeing firsthand on what she's got to go against on Sunday. And I mean, bro, this is something that's going to be monumental in regards to women's wrestling. Like, I love the fact that we have Forbidden Door matches, obviously on AEW. Mercedes and Stephanie Vaquer is going to happen. But like Roxanne and Jordan Grace is so incredibly like exciting for the world of wrestling because it's two of the best in-ring women's wrestlers on the planet at the moment, man. And they're gonna really square off and do something that's unprecedented for WWE. Touching base with TNA, and I think this is like I don't know. Jordan Grace just feels right in the WWE. It looked right on the Royal Rumble. Looks right tonight. It looked right last week, and I'm sure it's gonna look even the best on Sunday. So I'm definitely excited for it. I gotta say this though too, and I love giving flowers to everybody that's part of it. Stevie Turner does get some praise too because it does take two to tango, and I think she did a good job playing that opponent, giving the reps. But Stevie Turner is a very talented professional wrestler. I think she's very sound in the ring, but I like her character work. I liked her prior before, you know, when she was on the UK brand, but coming into NXT with the whole like cyber gimmick and Twitch streamer, I thought it was good. I think she's got like a sense of charisma and humor to her where she can be a double-edged sword. She can play, a person that's kind of goofy enough that the fans are gonna get with, or she could be very devious and become a monster heel. And it just shows the depth of this women's division that we always talk about. We're gonna talk about it later on the show as well. So major props to her, but think Mama Pump, bro. She coming for Miss Roxanne's uh jugular on Sunday, and I'm excited for it, bro.
Absolutely, and I'm excited. I love the way you broke that down, especially in relation to the Roxanne Perez match, and also highlighting Stevie Turner as well. She deserves credit. Did a great job on the other side of that, a tough side of a difficult equation, for sure. I'm glad that you highlighted her for sure. We are going to talk about Jordan Grace, I know, later in the show. No spoilers over here at Wrestling Republic. So I'm like, I don't want to dig
We
too
don't do
deep
that here.
too deep
We don't
into
do
the
that here.
subject, Shoddy. I was like, I had follow-up
Like,
questions. I started thinking about it. I'm like, no, wait, we're gonna hold those off till later in the show.
Gracious.
Pump the
Right.
brakes there. So
We don't
Driz,
do that here.
let's get into the North American Summit though. The Women's North American Championship. Fallon Henley, Lash Legend, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Mia Yim, Sol Ruka. All 6 of these women absolutely stood out on the stage. Not one of them stole the show, and I mean that positively. This is still one of those things that feels completely up in the air. I was excited about it. Was there a single tell, Driz, in your eyes, headed towards the match this weekend when you watched this? Did you catch a little bit of a hint? Is there anybody that you're seeing maybe has a better shot or a highlight out of them this weekend when it comes to the big match?
Outside of my own bias, no, not one bit. This is probably the exact thing that women's division needs. We talk about it every week about how stacked this women's division is, and the fact that they had to go get a mid card belt to go on top of having tag titles that go across all 3 brands and just all the other things that they have for the women to do. They build storylines without belts. It's almost an afterthought that you think about titles in that women's division. And the fact that they did a great job building a cast for who they believe should be the first which one of them should be the first champion is even more amazing, because each and every single one of them has a legitimate gripe to be that champion. Lash Legend, a part of that first crop of women, has grown tremendously since the days of the Lashing Out talk show. Kalani Jordan, last year's breakout star. She did not win the tournament, but definitely had the biggest upside since. Fallon Henley, another one from that first class, didn't get the move up with that first class, but has shown tremendous growth from being with Brooks and Jensen to now she looks like she's the almost could be the top heel on NXT. We have we got Sol Ruka, probably currently the biggest babyface in NXT, and Jada Parker, who is a walking meme, a walking like engagement, whatever you call it, on Twitter, Instagram. If you see her, you're liking her stuff. And Mia Yim, who is a journeyman from all around all of wrestling. It is so hard to pick a winner out of these 6 women. But if I'm using my bias, I'm going with Lash Legend. She's been the one that's been booked more strongly these last few months, since last year, actually, since the Iron Survivor match. She has been booked like a monster, and these have to be the next 6 challenges for that belt after that. It's a great way of building a division and having your next challenges lined up. So after whoever wins this, you're guaranteed the next person is definitely the next 5 challenges are coming out of this match. You gotta love it.
You're muted, big dog.
I love how you broke that down, Drizzy. It was perfect because we are going to give our predictions too later in the show. So, like, yes, I'm as excited for this as anyone, and there's almost no loser because, like you said, you have 5 immediate contenders coming out of whatever the result may be. Shad, did you see any tells though before we get into our a couple more segments and then our predictions when it came to this whole thing with all six women sitting in the
Mm-hmm.
ring
Mm-hmm.
getting ready for the huge inaugural matchup. I mean, it- we've talked about mid-card titles a ton on shows
Yeah.
across various shows at
My
Wrestling Republic.
So the variable that came across tonight that I thought was interesting was JC Jane and Kylie Jenner. I mean Jasmine, my bad. Uh we're outside there. JC Jane looking like prime Rip Hamilton with that face mask on, and then Kylie Jenner, learning how to wrestle, using that Kardashian money to her best benefit. I'm messing around. J JC Jane and Jasmine Nix, who had an incredible showing again tonight. Sorry, Thea Hill. Standing outside of that and some sort of scouting, and part of me does think it could help Fallon Henley going into Sunday. I mean, Fallon Henley is a person that has put a lot of work in, and it may be the numbers game. She may get some assistance. So it makes me think that Fallon Henley's probability may rise a little bit. That's what I found interesting. But I mean, it's like it's like the best problem to have. Like it doesn't matter who wins this ladder match because it feels right for any woman that wins it, and that's like the best thing to do, and that's what makes the best as a wrestling fan is that the fact that there's not like a sure cut person that looks like they're gonna win. You can make a case for every woman, and that's exciting.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Give me 1 second here. We're having some technical difficulties over on the Instagram feed that I am
Damn, Instagram.
currently working out. Dang it, Instagram. Worst
Clark,
case scenario when it comes to that.
Clark
Let
doing
me give it a
IT
old.
work.
Let me give it an old man.
Yeah,
God damn it, Instagram, get it
you
together.
can't be having that. Over on
Man,
X and all the other platforms, we're doing great, which is ideal. I will say this though. I'm excited about this one, and I'm excited for when we get to the predictions on it. So let's get through these next few topics really quickly here. We had Tony D'Angelo, Damon Kemp, Heritage Cup. I love the Heritage Cup format. Obviously, as a mixed martial arts fan, too, it's something that fits with the rounds, things like that. And we're headed to Battleground. I really wish we had a legit Heritage Cup match also booked on this card. I think that'd be the cherry on top of maybe having Underground as well because of the mixed martial arts type style. Driz, do you have any thoughts on that? And obviously D'Angelo retains the cup. What do you think the future of the Heritage Cup looks like?
It's gonna. I feel like they're gonna treat it like a TV title, and I feel like it's a breath of fresh air when it does come up on weekly television. It would be nice to see it at Battleground, but with everything else that we got going on, I wouldn't. NXT does a good job of letting their shows breathe. They put the steak on and they let it cook. They season it. It's all well tenderized, and they just let it cook. That's what they do with their matches, and I feel like I don't think that the match would oversaturate the show or clutter the show any bit, but I do like it on weekly television. So I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it needs to for this one. I don't think there needs to be on this pay per view. The D'Angelo Kemp match. It it's weird. It's weird, and I don't know if it's because it's a non UK guy defending it, but I don't know. It's just weird to me. It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit for me the way that it was when Bate and Noam Dar were having those matches. I don't know what it is.
To your point, and I think there is something huge that's missing here, and I don't even necessarily think it's totally a UK US thing. I think one of the keys was they always had great cornermen. Like
Mm,
the manager was a major factor between rounds, and it made it more entertaining.
yes.
Right?
we we
There was
we,
always
we
that variable.
we spoke about that slightly earlier while we were watching it too. It
Yeah,
feels like the no quarter cash crew is missing that dynamic that they had with
Yeah.
Nasty Man Gulak, who's no longer there.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
and obviously they got to try to fill the void of having a person that can kind of manage it because all three of those guys are lacking character. Sensational wrestlers, but the character is not there. And like when we were watching it earlier, that like mirror promo they did was whack.
You
It
talking to me?
wasn't.
You
100%.
talking? You talking to me? Are you talking to me? You
It
talking to me?
wasn't it wasn't funny. I wasn't feeling it. It didn't come organic to him, man. And I think Dempsey's not to be that. He needs to be what he is, a silent, get in there, do my work, get out of there, like kind of just being gritty in that sense. You can't
Tell him
put
call
him in.
somebody sunshine.
To your point,
Yeah,
Sean, it felt very like a square peg round hole, right? Like
yeah.
it didn't really fit his
But
style.
you know what I will say though before we get to the next topic, I like Tony D'Angelo and in the Heritage Cup scene because he looks so gassed because he's like
Yeah.
his condition ain't up there, right?
No,
He's
that's
a
like the
as a fellow big guy, I can
he's not
attest.
used to being a workhorse, right? Like
Nah,
so he's
It's one
huffing
of
and
yeah,
puffing. The
it's,
selling
it's
is off the
almost
charts to your point.
it's almost like having an Iron Man match every week.
Yes.
yeah. He
That
look
is
he
yeah.
he looked done at
That'll
the
blow
end of
you up.
it.
No, he
Nice
looks
spine
like
That'll blow
buster
he
you
had
up.
standpoint
he
too.
looks like he had a UFC fight every time he has a Heritage Cup match, and it's classic. Like the selling, it makes it even better. I think it's great character work, or maybe it's a really good way to show that his cardio isn't as great, or like cover up the fact that his cardio isn't as great. I don't know. Not here to speculate. We do have a comment over on Instagram from our good friend of the show, Tink22_54. He said, "Hey guys, it's been too long. Been dealing with health issues, dude. We wish you the best and good to
Yeah,
have you back. Thank you so much for
prayers up,
joining us, man.
prayers up, prayers up.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. Prayers up, and thanks for tuning in always." Apex Sound said, "What did I miss on NXT?" We're still
Everything.
talking about it, man, and we're gonna break down the predictions for this week's PLE, no question. And then Coach 23 added over on YouTube that Tony D is a great seller. Yeah, I think he is. Like that's
He's
one of his
great. He's great
best
in general,
strengths.
bro. Tony
Mhm.
D'Angelo's that dude, man. I'm a big fan of him.
Absolutely. Let's talk though about All Ego. Ethan Page, Trick Williams. It was a main event type segment. It was the main event segment, technically,
Hmm.
basically. Um, Big matchup, man. A lot of contract, a lot of pressure, a lot of
Yes,
stuff going on here. A
sir.
lot to digest when it comes to this one shot. What do you think about all of this? Is he going to whoop that trick, or is All Ego going to
I, I will
prove some
I
people
will
wrong?
I will let you know that when we do the predictions. But regarding to the segment, I thought it was another strong segment. I think this character that Ethan Page is playing is very, it's him. That's kind of what he does within a character standpoint. I like the whole quote unquote bidding war, but him, playing to the strengths of being like, y'all need me more than y'all think because you lost all these individuals. I need to set my place here because y'all need a shakeup and you need some main event type of people in your division. So I think I like that. Him and Trick, man, going back and forth, exchanging words on the mic. I thought both gentlemen were, on their P's and Q's tonight. And this is an important match. Ethan Page is an important signing. This is a guy who does have a lot of untapped potential that hasn't been reached as a competitor. I think you know what he is. The thing is this: when I say untapped potential is what he's been given to do. I think we know who Ethan Page is, and we like that. So putting him in the NXT world is going to be beneficial. I think Trick is a star, man. Like he just continues to be the star that he is. He's got the crowd eating from the palm of his hand, and it's gonna be a very very intriguing match going into this PLE, and I'm super excited for it.
The real question is, do we believe this is guaranteed? We're going to see this at Battleground. Is
I
that
believe
100%?
yes, they signed the
I
contract.
believe yep.
So the contract is signed. That's the key because we're going to have to predict this match coming up next here too. But Drizzy, your thoughts on, I mean, look, the crossover talent, the contract signing, all of it. What do you think about it with Ethan Page and Trick Williams involved in this?
You know what? I think it's refreshing. So many times when there's a trope in wrestling with the smaller companies when the big star comes in, they automatically get the title shot. They actually forced Ava's hand with this one. It's like, you need me. You're desperate for stars right now. And they actually played that out as the going thread of the show. It's like, you need me. Here's my terms. I'll sign it if you sign it. And she reluctantly signed it. It wasn't just, oh, you're coming in, so here's your title shot. It's just, no, these are my demands. That is refreshing. There's no, we're not explaining while things are happening. There's thought, there's logic to this. We want this big star. This big star is going to be a jerk. He's going to put in his contract that y'all want him to sign. I get a title shot at the next pay per view. I love the logic in that. It's just something that we don't get a lot of in wrestling. So whenever we do get it, it tickles my fancy. Like, I love when things make sense, and this makes sense.
I agree 100%, and it's funny because all the lists that I look at for the matches for the predictions that we're about to get into don't have it yet. But obviously, what we just watched, I was almost in denial here, just 30 minutes after the fact.
Yeah.
But this could very well be our main event. We've got in the comments here, we've got Coach 23 with All Ego went from dark to NXT's PLE main event. That's wild. But let's get into our predictions because this is going to be a fun show. It's Driz. I just found out pre-show. It's your anniversary. Happy anniversary, dude. So we definitely need to break down all the predictions for the show since it's just going to be me and Shoddy on Sunday.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's a no-brainer. Let's start with that match, that title match. All Ego versus Trick Williams. And let's start with you, Driz. Not only happy anniversary, but who gets the win in this one this Sunday evening?
I am putting all my eggs and confidence on Trick Williams. I do believe that Ethan Page is a major star. I do believe that he will be an NXT champion, but he's made entirely too many enemies in too fast, and it's just not going to work out for him. He still has to atone for his sins against the Metaphor, three of the Metaphor. He attacked Aura. He attacked Noam. He caused an attack, an accidental bump on Lash Legend. So I do not expect Ethan Page. I don't expect this match to end clean, but I do expect Trick Williams to walk out.
Muted.
And we have Trick Williams pick again. I keep doing that same thing, but I won't. We have the Trick Williams pick. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it, Driz. I think it's a great pick. I actually have the exact same pick myself on this match. Before I hand this over to you, Shad, is there any shot? Is there any shot All Ego pulls this upset?
There is always a shot at the end of the day, and you got to take things into consideration. Ethan Page is a marquee signing for NXT, and this is his debut match. And a lot of times, people do not like to see people that are brand new open off with a loss. Now, a lot of people don't get an opportunity to get a title match off the gate, but it shows you the importance and the value that they have with him in the free agency and bringing him onto the NXT roster. With that being said, superstars are undeniable. Trick Williams is a superstar. He is undeniable. He's new into this reign, and he's got a lot of meat on the bone before he gives up that title. I agree with Drizzy. There will be some sort of foolishness. There is people that got a target on Mr. Ethan Page's back, as he called it, on Trick's back. And he might want to watch his back because I think him and Noam Dar is definitely a feud to look for after this pay per view. But I got Trick Williams retaining, and it's going to be a quality one for him.
I agree. And we got 3 for 3 on Trick Williams retaining. I'm also going to agree on shenanigans, not just to be like the guy that's like, hey, I agree with my friends, but like truth be told, it just makes the most sense. Like
Yeah,
Drizzy
hope
said
so.
out of the gates, and you agreed, Shad, like that one. It makes the most sense for this match, especially given the timing of the booking. If you look
Yep.
at all the other matches headed into tonight, pretty much we're all but set, right?
Yeah.
Ironically, we're looking at a card here with 6 matches, 5 for titles.
Mm-hmm.
5 for titles, 1 without. I'm actually going to go to that one last because it is at the UFC Apex. So in my eyes, it's as good as the main event.
It
But
should
up
be amazing.
next, let's talk about the NXT Tag Team title match. The
Mhm.
OC doing some of their best work in a heck of a long time. Let's be honest with ourselves. We don't
Yeah.
get to see them wrestle in the tag team division like we should be able to. And it's two of the most talented veterans we have in this business, right? There's no denying Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows' resumes. There just isn't. And it's interesting with this AJ Styles resurgence that they're having a bit of the resurgence of their own over here on Tuesday nights. We got them taking on Axiom and Nathan Frazier, the champions, are resident cartoon characters, and I mean that positively, not negatively, over on NXT on Tuesday nights. These dudes fly like it's crazy.
Yes.
I don't know necessarily about the gimmick, but the in-ring work is undeniable.
Without a doubt.
It's absolutely off the charts. This is a match that's in show stealing territory because it's one of those ones that's easy to overlook when you look at the rest of the card. But I think it's going to be an exciting one. I'll give my pick first, really quick, and then go to you, Shad. I think Axiom and Frazier retain. I think the champs retain. As much as I would like to see the OC go over, I weirdly think that there's going to be some main roster jobs that may have stopped a booking opportunity to have the OC win these titles, that may have, thrown a little wrench into it. I think that there's some opportunities for the OC to be back in their friend AJ up on that main roster after this Mark Henry retirement type thing. And that's why I'm going that route. That's the only pick where I've truly flipped thus far.
Okay.
So I'm going with Axiom and Frazier to retain. Shotty, I'm going to you next, though. Who do you have? NXT Tag Team titles. What's your pick? Talk to me about the match.
So your point is a one that crossed my mind too, because that's the outlier. We got AJ Styles in a prominent role, and it looks like they've realigned with each other from last Friday. That being said, I like to stick with my gut. I don't like ever changing stuff, and I'm always going with my gut. I'm gonna go with the Good Brothers. I got the OC winning, and I'll tell you why. There is a bit of a hole right now in the men's division for having potential competitors for either Obafemi or for Trick Williams. And I think Nathan Frazier and Axiom are perfect guys to implement into that picture, because I think both of them are super talented. Uh, that this tag match could very well be a show stealer. Carl Anderson and Gallows are very, used to working with people at high work rates, prior to coming in back to the WWE, working in Japan and whatnot. And these two guys are like two of the best like in-ring workers in the WWE main roster or NXT. I think it's time for us to have them develop as single stars, because I think there is a bit of star power with both of them as single stars. I think this is a good reset. And the other thing is this: wouldn't it look cool with AJ Styles walking in on SmackDown
With the
with
NXT
two
champs.
guys with NXT titles? Yeah, man.
It's a very good call, Shad. And to your point too, Axiom, formerly known as A Kid, can't
Hmm.
this dude can't catch a good name in pro wrestling. He can't even catch one.
Yeah,
He's immune.
Hunter need to like get that mask off of him and let him be who he was. Because I think visually it's hard to take him serious because
This is a
his
guy that's a
mask looks
legit
crazy.
shooter. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
Hmm.
Now, on top of the fact that he can flip and fly, flip, flop, and fly, in the words of Ignacio, as well as anybody in the world.
He's
His lucha libre action
he's
in a
certified.
positive way. is
Certified
like
hooper. Certified hooper, bro. He's
yeah,
a baller.
he's
He's such a baller.
unbelievable.
I'm a big fan of both of those guys.
Absolutely. Okay, so you have one pick OC, you got one pick champions retain Driz. It's all the ball's in your
All
court.
in your court.
The ball is in my court. I'm at the line. I'm getting ready to take my shot, do my Jason Kidd to the left, doing right of me, and I'm going to shoot. I am going with the OC. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now that the tag division needs to be rebuilt and reborn, and I'm absolutely on point. I'm on board. I'm signing up. I'm buying stock in it in the OC rebuilding the NXT tag division and their image. They do such a good. They are a Hall of Fame tag team in wrestling. It Yes, it's in New Japan, TNA, W. They've held just about every title, every tag title in every company, with the exception of one. And that, I don't know if they'll ever go to get that again, but they are a Hall of Fame tag team. This is a great way to rebuild your tag division. So let's let the OC do it. Let the OC break it down. Shout out GST.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so two OC picks
Hmm.
and one the other way. That's going to be interesting. That makes Sunday significantly more interesting in that match, and
Bragging
I'm
rights might
excited
be
about
heavy
it.
for Clark if he wins.
Bragging rights might be heavy.
He be talking crazy.
Let's stay though in title pictures. And speaking of titles, let's talk about our first crossover match when it comes to predictions that we're going to talk about tonight. Oh, except for that, we already talked about Ethan Page and Trick Williams. What in the world are we doing every Tuesday night? This is so sick. It's so much fun. Like, this is too much fun. I can't lie. Like, it does tickle me at this
Uh,
point.
it's
It tickles
different.
your
Um,
fancy. It
it's
tickles your
like,
Um,
fancy.
it's different
it's one of
waters,
those,
bro.
like, as a wrestling fan, like, it's too much fun, you know?
Yeah.
But so our other big crossover match, let's talk Roxanne Perez and Jordan Grace. NXT Women's Title match. This is going to be off the charts. This is going to be absolutely wild. Is there any shot we see Jordan Grace on TNA a week from Thursday? So, 9 days from now, holding the NXT Women's World Championship. Drizzy, I'm going to ask you first. Is that what we're walking into?
As much as it would make my little heart beat, I cannot say that that will happen. I'm going with Roxanne Perez with the upset and the steal of retaining her title and going and not maybe not her be the one going to NX to TNA to go try and steal a belt. But definitely Roxanne. This is the top belt. This is your women's title. Honestly, in NXT, if you look at the lineage, it's probably the biggest title in NXT. I don't think they're gonna let somebody from another company walk in, grab their belt, and run out and do the CM Punk kiss. I just don't see that happening. Roxanne will find a way to pull it out. It'll be a sneaky roll up win or something because Jordan Grace is a juggernaut. You're gonna have to be smarter in order to beat her.
I totally understand it, and it is hard to fathom seeing that belt over on a TNA program. I agree with a lot of that.
Do
That
you
is
know how fast
hard to
hell would
picture.
freeze over to see a WWE title on
Yeah,
another show?
it's hard. It's hard to imagine.
Vince McMahon might die where he stands.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have one pick, Roxanne. Is there any shot, Shoddy? What are you thinking?
Zip Zero, Stinchy with De Niro. Not a chance Jordan Grace beats Roxanne Perez. And that is nothing against Jordan Grace because Jordan Grace may be the more dominant opponent, may have more of the accolades, and may be the bigger star. But this is Roxanne Perez's moment. And this is a fine line of them just having all the trust in this young woman to think that she is going to be the next up and giving her a formidable and quality opponent in a Miss Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace wins just being here, bro. Like she's setting different records that a lot of other women wish they can do in regards of not being in the WWE, but being positioned in a title match as well as being displayed like the star that she is. It's a win alone, but I got Roxanne winning on Sunday.
I understand. And I can't believe I'm going to do this to you guys. But with my pick, Jordan Grace is going to walk onto TNA next Thursday night holding the NXT women's title. I totally hear it. I get why Roxanne's going to pull this off. I get all of that. But this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I think this is a talent that the WWE wants. This is a recruitment pitch as much as it is anything. And Roxanne Perez is collateral damage, unfortunately. And I don't know that she necessarily even deserves that. But the WWE wants and likes Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is walking away from Battleground in Las Vegas as women's champion. I believe she will lose the title on another platform over on a TNA show, right back to Roxanne Perez, and all will be well in the world again. But this Sunday in particular, one Sunday in June, Jordan Grace gets the job done. And that's just my prediction, man. It's one of those, I can easily see it going either way. And I do totally understand where both of you are coming from picking Roxanne. But I think sometimes you got to strike while that iron's hot. And the iron is really, really hot on Jordan Grace. She's been pumping iron. Speaking of, you can tell biceps off the charts.
Yeah. She definitely is
strike while that iron's hot. I'm going with it. That's two kind of whack controversial picks in a row from me. So don't think I'm that crazy. I am still hosting the show. I promise. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible here, everybody.
It's all good.
Let's talk about the NXT North American Championship. Another triple threat. The king of the triple threat, Obafemi, the king of the king of the mid-card championship, the scariest dude in all of pro wrestling. This guy doesn't need an advocate. He doesn't need me to talk about how great he is because he's the scariest guy in all of pro wrestling. It's just kind of a fact. He's a human freight train. Like, you're not going to step on the tracks if he's moving fast enough. You're just not. You're going to sit on the side and hope it passes. Like, it's Obafemi is the best big man I've seen in years. Depth of moveset, intimidation factor, every box checked. It's Oba, it's Joe Coffey, and it's Wesley. Dang, I'm so stoked to have Wesley back. Don't get me wrong. I know Joe Coffey's got a sick resume over in NXT UK. I know all about that. I've done my homework, right? I ate my Cheerios. I've done all of that. Wesley, super stoked to have him back. Super stoked for the idea of the potential crossover when it comes to this TNA stuff. This is the Obafemi show. I'm going to get my pick out the way first. When it comes to this one, it's Oba or it's nothing. It's Obafemi. And I mean, maybe somebody will make it look close, but it really won't be. It's Obafemi. And it's always been Obafemi. The guy's, to me, the most impressive North American champion I've seen, and the lineage on that title, you can go look it up, is dang good.
Wow.
Is dang good. And I'll put my name on that right now.
That is the claim. Wow. Keith,
Obafemi is the most impressive North American. Yep.
Better than Adam Cole?
Yep. He's the most impressive North American champion I've ever seen.
What?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of...
Because he's got plenty of time to prove me right in front of it. That's the difference there.
Okay, that's betting for the future. But if we're talking what he's done so far,
I'm just saying this is going to be good in revisionist history. I'm not saying it has to be smart now. I'm just telling you, Obafemi,
Spicy take.
he's on it. He retains. Wesley looks as good as anything. I think we set up for some serious crossover stuff here. This is where I expect some serious shenanigans.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely shenanigans. They will shenan once. If they shenan once, they will definitely shenan again. It'll
yes,
definitely happen.
exactly.
Funny.
So I'm going with
Gallus,
Obafemi. Who do you got, Driz? Talk to me about it.
I am going with Obafemi, and it is going to be a amazing feat of strength because Gallus is going to piss him off. Gallus has a way. There's a reason why I call them European Undisputed Era because when all three of them get together, you're either getting jumped or they are so hapless that they cannot do anything to stay on both their feet at the exact same time. It's almost impossible. This is going to be a Obafemi and Wesley versus Gallus type match, even though it is a triple threat match. There's no DQ, so what's stopping Mark Coffey and Wolfgang from getting involved? I've already said it. If they shenan once, they will shenan again, and Obafemi ain't having that. It's gonna be he's gonna smack Gallus. He's gonna smack all three of them at one time, and then he is going to proceed to dismantle Wesley. Obafemi for the win. Ooh, how?
Bruh,
How?
what are you doing, man?
This is starting to get bad. I I won't mess this up again further. To be honest, the real truth is I've been dealing with sniffles and I've been trying not to sniffle during you guys' takes. And I'm not used to actually muting myself every single time when I'm hosting. I'm going to be honest, live on air, even for the viewers here, I'm trying not to sniffle for y'all. That my allergies are killing me. It's bugging me to death. And I'm trying not to mess up
I feel you on that.
my friend's predictions. Dang it. Either way, okay, let's get back into the predictions though. However, I mean, yes, we have two Obafemi picks. That was where I was going with this, and that's what's most important. We have two Obafemi picks. Shotty, you're gonna make it 3 for 3, aren't you? You're not going upset here. Tell me you're not going upset.
Oh man, oh man. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, bro. I love the underdogs. That year we was the underdogs when we beat the New England Patriots, and the underdog to me is a man who shouldn't be an underdog. It should be a favorite because he is arguably one of the best North American champions too. But you unfortunate circumstances have occurred for him. We're talking about Wesley. He's somebody that's special, but I don't think his moment is this Sunday. Coffee is a formidable beast. He's got the numbers game. I don't think it's going to be him. I think it is Obafemi retaining. This is his time. You need to continue to build him to be the dominant force that he is. And yeah, man, I got him retaining. So 3 for 3.
Three
Oh,
for three.
is it cold? Is
Oba.
it cold in here? Is it cold in here? Let me get my blanket. Kind of cold.
Oh no!
Oh man, it's just
Don't do
cold.
it. Not the
I feel,
shot.
I feel cold.
Bro, my man wearing a trash bag on. What's going on with you, bro?
What are you talking about? Trash bags don't beat Tom Brady twice.
Not twice.
Nick Foles
Oba
beats him too.
Femi. So we 3 for 3 on Oba Femi.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
It's
our final title match. We're going to talk about predictions wise of the night really quickly. And then we will get into our moments of the night. We have 2 matches left really quick for predictions. But this is the one that I'm most excited about. It is the 6-way ladder match for the NXT Women's North American title, the inaugural NXT Women's North American Champion. We have Mi Chin, Mia Yim, whichever you prefer, Fallon Henley, Lash Legend, Sol Ruka, Jada Parker, and Kalani Jordan. This is like a future women's Money in the Bank match,
Mhm.
but with like weirdly more meaning.
It's
I
an
don't,
inaugural championship, bro. You
I
were the
don't,
first to be the champ if you win. That's history. That's her story.
I don't know if I've ever seen a bigger toss-up, though, in a 6-person ladder match. I mean, Coach 23 said toss-up between Soul and Lash. I think it's a toss-up between all 6. I could make
It
an
really
argument
is.
for each one. This is one of
Yeah.
the most difficult decisions I think I've had as far as predictions are concerned all week, all year, maybe. Shad, I'm going to go to you really quick first. Who do you got?
This is so difficult. I am splitting hairs that I do not have on my head. All right, man. All right. Well, let me say this. I love the idea of Gallows, Anderson, and Mishin all walking out victorious. I'm sorry, and being champs visually. That would be awesome. Sorry, Mia Yim, I don't have you winning. Kalani Jordan. I'm a big fan of her. She has retweeted my support for her on X before, and I want her to win because I'm a fan of her. I don't have her winning as well. My inaugural North American Women's Champion will be Sol Ruka. I think Sol Ruka has the potential to be a marquee name in the women's wrestling circuit on WWE for a decade plus. She's one of the best fluid athletes I've ever seen touch NXT. And I think she has the ability to have that title and continue to boost the star that she is and eventually get to that next level, whether it's another NXT women's title picture or whether they put her onto the main roster after that and she's wrestling for one of those titles on Raw or SmackDown. But I think Soul's time, I'm hanging 10 with Soul Ruka.
I love it. I respect it. I think it's a great pick. Someone earlier in the comments on Instagram said something about Sol Ruka having a knee brace. If I remember correctly, Stone Cold won a few world championships with not one but 2 knee braces. Pretty
Yeah.
sure Sol Ruka, considering, have you seen
Man,
that inverted flip into a cutter she does?
that Soul
Yeah.
Snatcher tonight was
Sh-
filthy.
She'll be fine with the Soul Snatcher in that one knee brace. I think it's a great pick. Driz, seriously, there's no wrong answer on this one. Of these 6 women, who is going to be the inaugural NXT North American Women's Champion?
I again with my bias because all these women, there's no clear cut way to determine who would win this. There is nothing that even gives a hint to who they're even going to give it to because all these women are credible to be that first champion. But out of my biasness, I have to go with Lash Legend. She's been booked strong for so long, and I really do believe it's time that they finally let her get that next step because she's improved so much in the ring. She's always been great on the mic. She looks great. She's a total package. And I'm just ready for her to go ahead and take that next step into being one of the faces of that women's division. Somebody in the comments has said that this looks similar to the way it was with the NXT men's North American title match when they initially did that ladder match. And they're not wrong.
Yeah.
It it looks a lot like it. Like they have somebody to fill all those pockets, all those boxes.
Yeah, that's Coach 23. Yeah, by the way, monster
Yeah.
shout out. Coach 23 in Manila.
Yes. It a spot on comparison. I don't think there's and like I said, there's no way to pick. This is a tough one. If you're betting on this one, good luck.
Absolutely. So we have one pick, Lash Legend, one pick, Sol Ruka, and this is so difficult for me because both picks are great. There's so many, right? Your official pick is Lash, correct?
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah.
Yeah, and your official pick is Sol Ruka, Shadi. My official pick. Dang it, this is so tough. I've changed it 4 times. I'm gonna go Fallon Henley.
Mm.
Because watch this. I think you can build Sol Ruka. I think you can build Lash Legend. I think you can build both Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan in various ways based on their storylines headed into this match. I think the most logical next route for Fallon Henley is to carry a title. And I think we need to see it. And I think in a weird way that she was not featured in that summit today. That was my one tell. If I was gonna give one, that was my one tell. She spoke the least. She was the calmest. She had her eyes on the camera. She had her eyes on the prize. She had her eyes on everyone else. I'm going Fallon Henley in what would I think be considered a bit of an upset, but a deserved victory. And I don't think anyone who wins this doesn't deserve it. This is one of my favorite matchups we've had on a PLE in such a long time, but it would be really cool to see Fallon get that done. Let's really quickly run through this. I don't think it's the main event, but to me, I mean, it's at the Apex. It's the underground match. No ropes. Shayna Baszler, Lola Vice. Basically MMA rules, knockout, submission. Somebody's going to sleep. I'll tell you that much. That's what this is all about. Baszler Vice. I think we're going to be seeing some twerking at the Apex. My pick's Lola Vice. Dryzzy, I'm going to ask you who you got your pick in the underground match.
I am going Lola Vice. We popping ass, baby. We are popping ass in this match, and what really pushed it for me was the video package that they played tonight. It made this match feel so like if you're just we've watched this play out over time, and there's been we have not been able to predict any parts of it as a feud, and I love that for that so much. Shayna Baszler is very rarely in the ring with anybody who is just as dangerous as her, and Lola Vice is just as dangerous as her. It just doesn't seem like it because, like we say, Lola Vice be popping ass. If she makes it. She's sexy. She's crazy. She's cool. She's a TLC album.
Yep.
You're. It's hard to bet against that. And I don't think
that was too good.
I don't think that anybody is really expecting Lola Vice to pull this one out because she does all that. But she's still a woman. She still has fun. So I'm going Lola Vice.
I like the Lola pick because I'm in agreement. And I don't know that I could have broken that down any better than that.
That needs to be my quote. She's crazy. She's sexy. She's cool. She's a TLC album.
She's a TLC album. Ben, cut that. Clip that. Whatever you're doing. I know you're not awake yet, but when you do wake up and watch this, Shoddy, your pick in this one. Lola Vice?
Well,
or Shayna Baszler?
One, I have no issues with, Lola Vice. Showboating, dancing, her hips don't lie in the words of Shakira. Her fists don't lie either. That's on her t-shirt. And I think it's a shoe-in for her to win on Sunday. Shayna Baszler is incredible. Shayna Baszler is one of the best NXT champions of all time. But Shayna Baszler doesn't need to win this match. You want to build the threat of who Lola Vice, Valerie Loretta is, and this is her. This is a win that maximizes of what she is as a character and what the potential could be. This is someone who's got an ample amount of star power and is getting better week upon week upon week, and she's growing and finding herself more while we are watching it with our eyes. She needs to win this match. I got her winning. I love that this is the match and this is the setting. I know a lot of people were tripping about it being at the Apex. I never said that, so don't put me in that bag. I think it's gonna look dope. I love the personal setting, and I love that it's gonna be an underground match. But I got Miss Lola Vice knocking Shayna Baszler clean out, unconscious, CTE and all. She's gonna be walking. She's gonna be acting like AB after that.
I dig it.
I feel like we have to approach this. I feel like we got to approach this like a UFC fight.
Yep.
Because if they're standing, Lola's definitely got the advantage. But if they go to the ground,
Shayna
can get her.
Shayna's like quicksand on the ground. It's one of those two, and it's funny because venue wise, there has been some criticism, like you brought up, Shoddy, online.
Mm-hmm.
do we forget that this is like a soundstage? It's like filming this at like a Hollywood studio. This is what the Apex was built for.
Mm-hmm.
This was built for the Contender Series. This was built for television production. That's the point of this venue. So while the crowd is smaller, the production value is off the charts. I mean, one of the most iconic eras in NXT was the Black and Gold era. That venue was not the Performance Center. That venue was Full Sail University.
Full Sail University, yep.
And
Forget about
that's
that.
a sound stage, right? That's a completely different animal. It's one of the things that made it so great. We are so low on timing. That is completely my fault. Let's really quickly just name our moments of the night. Like, Shad, moment of the night from today's show. Maybe even, do you got a parting shot?
I'm gonna tell you what my moment of the night is. The moment of the night was the end of the not the end of the show. It was a segment where Jordan Grace was walking around and interacting with all the talent, but most importantly, interacting with Miss Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley appreciating and checking out that title. We have rumblings that there may be a special opponent for Jordan Grace at all All or Nothing.
All against all odds.
Okay.
Against all odds.
There is a potential open challenge at Against All Odds for Miss Jordan Grace. I think Tatum Paxley is gonna come knocking at that door and wrestle her for that Knockouts Women title.
I love that. That is exciting. Although I will say, is it just me or does every TNA pay-per-view sound like a corny action movie? Against all odds. Hard to kill.
All in the studio getting blow be the realest shit I ever wrote. Where's the Tupac?
Driz.
My moment of the night was the summit. I love it when you have I love it when they do it for the Money in the Bank. I'm loving it even more here, but you get to see all the personalities, all the sassiness, and with the women, it just gets a little bit more feistier because they're all just snapping at each other at any given moment.
That's a really great pick. My moment of the night, I feel it was all. My moment of the night, sad because Lash Legend. Did we just watch Lash Legend and Carmelo Hayes break up on TV?
No, but it is Trick Williams.
I'm sorry, Trick Williams.
That's how
ruined the Hang on, everybody, rewind that back. Let me try that again. Did we just watch Lash Legend and Trick Williams break up on TV? That's what I meant to do the first time.
That's how sad Clark is. That's how
sad I am. I forgot who it was.
Forgot who was who.
Everyone's breaking up. Like, there's no more friends. The best friends are broken up. Lash Legend and Trick. Carmelo and Trick. Nobody's friends anymore. It's the saddest thing in the world. Like, it's all everybody's breaking up. It's breakup season. And it's summer. That's just breaks my heart.
That's when she goes.
Lash and Trick. Bro. Hopefully not Lash and Mello. That would be wild, by the way.
I don't think Kalani will like it.
Yeah, no, that would be messing with. Yeah, now all of a sudden we've got storylines. This escalated so quickly. I'm totally
Remember what I said earlier today on the daily. Laundry, laptop,
fold,
beach chair, fold.
Freudian slip. Thank you. Yes, it was a Freudian slip. I messed up. But either way, thank you everybody that's tuned in. It's been a blast of a show as always. Check us out on every platform. Sunday night Spotlight. That's every Sunday. You're going to enjoy it. The daily, that's noon Pacific. That's 3 in the East. That's 9 Hawaii. That's 4 a.m. in Manila. Wrestling Republic. Check it all out. Instagram, all of it. Thank you on behalf of me, Clark Taylor, Dryzzy, Driz, Andre Martin, Shad Huda. Thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to everybody next Tuesday. Well, wait, that's a lie. Sunday.